Hello students, let's go to next topic of our syllabus. That is nothing but what? Potential energy of single charge in an electric field. If you remember, up till now we have derived the equation for electric potential and potential energy also. But this would be different from that. How it will be different? Now here, the single charge is not only move from infinity to given point, but it is moved from infinity to the presence of electric field. That is the difference. And in that situation we want to find out the potential energy when the single charge is moved from infinity to the given point, how much potential energy is required. And in this given point, it is not a single point here, that given point is in the electric field. That's why we have to just heading is potential energy of single charge in an electric field. We have moved the single charge from infinity to electric field. Now we have to find out the potential energy required for that. Let us consider the V of R is the electric potential. V of R is the electric potential due to the electric field. Here somewhere here, suppose the point is here somewhere A and this charge is somewhere at here infinity. Charge Q is there, plus charge Q is there at the infinity. Now we have to move the charge infinity to point A, but point A is kept in a electric field E, and this electric field has electric potential V of R. Now we have to move this here. Now initially, if you remember, without this electric field, what is the work done to move the first charge in the at point A? W1 equal to 0, we assume, if you remember. But in this situation, it never be 0. Why? Because here there is already electric field, so there must be work done to move the charge Q from infinity in this electric field E. And that work done is nothing but what? That work done is suppose W, and that work done equal to what? Electric potential due to this electric field, V of R into charge to be moved. So this is a work done, and this work done itself is nothing but what? Potential energy. So this is a potential energy of a single charge move from infinity to the given point which is placed in an electric field. This would be the work done required, and that work done itself is nothing but a potential energy. So in this fashion we have considered this as Pu, that is nothing but this is a potential energy. Okay, so let's go further. This is the potential energy. Let's go to next topic, the potential energy of system of two charges in electric field. Now suppose potential energy due to system of charges. Here it is we have seen single charge. Now we have to see the system of charges. System of charges. Now here the point A is here, point B is here somewhere, and these two are separated by distance r1 2. They are at a distance of r1 and r2 from origin here. This is x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. Within this electric field E is applied, having the electric potential V of R. Now there are two charges at infinity, Q1 and Q2, plus Q1 and Q2 are the two charges at the infinity. Now we want to move the first charge Q1 from infinity to point A, then Q2 from infinity to the point B, where Q1 is kept in electric field. Only one repulsion is there due to electric field. But when Q2 comes, there are two forces. One due to electric field, second due to this charge Q1 kept at distance R1 at point A. So that we have to find out. So let's start with this. Suppose the first charge Q1 is moved from this to point A. What should be the electric potential? That the potential energy, just we have derived the potential energy to move the charge Q1 in electric field. Single, just before we have derived. That is nothing but what? V of R into Q1. V of R into Q1, and here it is R1, so it is V of R1. Let us say it is equation 1. Now charge Q1 is moved from infinity to the point A, so it is Q1 comes here. Now we want to move the Q2. Q2 we have to move in the electric field, as well as Q2 we have to move in the field produced by this Q1. So there are two terms, and that we want to derive now. At a distance R2 we want to move the charge. So first one, that potential energy is equal to what? Due to this, only instead of charge Q1 there is a Q2. V of R2 potential, electric potential, okay, at point R2 due to electric field into charge to be moved Q2 plus. So this is due to electric field, similar to this electric field, okay, plus plus what? Due to charge q1 we have to write the electric field. Due to charge q1 we have to write, and that is nothing but what? 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 q1 q2 divided by r12. q1 q2 divided by r12. If you remember, already we have derived this in last period. Okay, now we get these two equations 1 and 2. Equation 1 for moving a charge q1 at A, equation 2 to move the charge q2 at B. Okay, now q2 is moved in the two fields, in electric field as well as the field of the q1. That's why here the two terms. If we consider third one, it has three terms, E, q1 and q2 and so on. Okay, now here these are the potential energy due to moving a charge q1, moving charge q2. We want to find a total potential energy. So here total potential energy is sum of the equation 1 and 2. So we can write this VR1 into q1 plus VR2 into q2 plus 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 q1 q2 divided by r12. So this is the total potential energy of two charges move from infinity in a electric field. Now let's go to next topic of the syllabus, that is potential energy of a dipole in an electric field. Now initially we have seen single charge is moved, then we have seen the two charges are moved. Now we have to see the electric dipole is moved. Let's see. Here plus q minus q separated by the distance twice L, they will form an electric dipole, and electric dipole is kept in parallel line. Parallel line represent the electric field. So electric dipole is kept in electric field. They are separated by distance twice L and inclined to the field by an angle theta. Inclined to the field by an angle theta. Now here we want to determine the potential energy of dipole in electric field. Potential energy of dipole in electric field. Now let's start with this. So here, if you remember, as here, due to the electric field E, the force act on plus charge Q is QE. On this, again it is QE. Both are same in magnitude, opposite in direction. So there must be rotational motion. And we know that whenever there is a rotational motion, there must be torque. And that torque can be represented as tau equal to P cross E. If you see here, we have represented P. P is nothing but what? The magnitude of one of the charge into distance between the two charges. So that is nothing but this, the electric dipole moment we call. So P cross E. Cross product is there. So we can write this as PE sine of theta. PE sine of theta. Now here we want to write down the work done. Work done in this when the dipole is kept in electric field, in this rotational motion, and that rotational motion there must be work done. Suppose theta is a final inclination. Before that, suppose initial inclination is theta 0, angular momentum, or we can say theta 0 to theta it is moving. It is moving from theta 0 to theta. Theta is final angular momentum or angular displacement, and theta 0 is initial angular displacement. Then work done to displace this electric dipole. Suppose we have displaced it further. Suppose it is a new position. Okay, this is theta initially. Now what? This is theta. Theta. So this is theta 0 initial value, theta the final value, suppose after some time. Now that can be found out by work done W equal to integration varies from theta 0 to theta. Theta 0 to theta, and that is nothing but a torque tau d theta. Okay, in your book they have just used here tau external. They have used this tau external. This tau external and this tau both are same. So tau external d theta, that can be written as integration varies from theta 0 to theta. Put the value of tau external and tau is same. So it is PE sine of theta. PE is constant. Take it outside. So we can write it PE is constant. Integration of sine theta is what? Cos theta. Sine theta is minus cos theta. And here limit varies from theta 0 to theta. Put upper limit minus lower limit, we get here PE as it is, upper limit cos theta minus cos theta 0. Cos theta minus cos theta 0, that is the work done. And this work done itself is nothing but a potential energy. So this is the equation for potential energy. This is equation for potential energy of electric dipole kept in a constant electric field. Is that clear? Now again there are two cases. The first, when theta equal to pi by 2, that is nothing but 90 degree. When theta is 90 degree, what should be the equation that we have to see? Theta equal to 90 degree, sorry, theta 0 equal to 90 degree. Theta 0 equal to 90 degree. So here if you put theta 0 equal to 90 degree, as here if you remember this is minus sign here. Okay, so if you put this minus, this should be theta 0, this should be theta. Swap the positions. Okay, cos theta 0 minus theta, it is not plus, it is minus cos theta. Because of this minus sign, they get reverse. Cos theta 0 minus cos theta. Now here theta 0 equal to 90, if you put cos of 90 is 0. Cos of 90 is, what is the cos of 90? Cos of 90 is 0. So what should be the work done? W equal to minus PE cos theta. And that itself is nothing but a potential energy. That is the first condition. Second condition, P cos theta means what? It is simply P dot E in vector form with a minus sign, potential energy. The second condition, if initially it is parallel, that parallel means what? Theta 0 equal to 0 degree. In that case, cos 0 is 1, so we can write work done, potential energy equal to work done equal to here PE in bracket 1 minus cos of theta. So this is the potential energy for the second case. So in this fashion, we have determined the potential energy of an charge is kept in electric field. Then we have to go to the next topic. The next two topics, they have just removed this topic this year. That is conductor, insulator, free charges and bound charges inside a conductor. That topic is skipped this year. Let's go directly to next 8.8, dielectric and electric polarization. What is meant by dielectric and electric polarization, that we have to see. So here dielectric are nothing but what? One type of material in which they are insulating material basically. So I will write here dielectric and what is the topic? Electric polarization. Electric polarization. So what exactly this is? Dielectric and electric polarization. So dielectric is nothing but what? Dielectric materials are the materials in which they are insulating material. Basically they are insulating material, but they have the property that when we put this insulating material in an electric field, when there is no electric field, nothing would be there. But when these materials are kept in electric field, this material has a property that they will produce the charges. Due to electric field, automatically charges get produced across the material, and that is said to be polarization. That is said to be production of electric charges inside the material. When that is kept in electric field is said to be polarization, and that is nothing but a polarization phenomenon. And that insulating material which has this property of production of charges when kept in electric field are said to be dielectric materials. Now here there are two types of dielectric materials. It may be polar dielectric, it may be non-polar dielectric. So I start with the polar dielectric first. So polar dielectric materials are of two types. So this is polar, then we will go for non-polar, or I will write here non-polar. Non-polar dielectric material. Polar dielectric material and non-polar dielectric material. As their name suggests, that polar dielectric material is a material which when kept in electric field, it has a polarities, separate polarities, positive and negative polarities are there. That's why it's said to be polar dielectric material. And the material which doesn't have polarities, when it is kept in electric field or without electric field, so it is said to be non-polar, doesn't have polarities. Before going into detail, let's see. We know that atom consists of positive charge nucleus and negative charge electrons are revolving around the nucleus in circular orbit. So if center of gravity of positive charges and negative charges, if the center of gravity of positive and negative charges does not coincide, they are separate by some distance. Suppose there is center of mass of positive charges, center of gravity of all positive charges, this is center of gravity of all negative charges together in a group, then they are separated by some distance, then such type of material in which the center of gravity of positive and negative terminal positively charged and negatively charged particles are separate by some distance, they have some polarities always, plus and minus. That's why that type of material is said to be polar dielectric material. Apart from this, in non-polar dielectric material, these materials are materials in which the center of gravity of positive charge particle is here. At the same place, there is a center of gravity of negatively charged particle. So we can say the plus is here, minus is also here. So center of gravity of positive charges and negative charges coincide at the same point. That's why it doesn't have a polarities. That is said to be non-polar. If they are separated, they have the polarity, plus to one side, minus to other side. That's why they are said to be polar material. So these are the polar and non-polar dielectric material. So in case of polar material, they have given example in your book, figure 8.18b and c. The example is what? HCl or H2O. Examples they have given: HCl, H2O. Apart from this, they have mentioned more examples: the alcohol, NH3, alcohol, NH3. These are the examples of this polar dielectric material. Non-polar dielectric material examples they have given: H2, then CO2. These are the examples of this non-polar dielectric material. So these are nothing but there are two types of dielectric material: polar dielectric and non-polar dielectric, depending on their center of gravity of positive and negative charges, whether they are coinciding or not. Let's go to next topic of the syllabus. That is nothing but what? Polarization of non-polar dielectric in external electric field. Polarization of polarization of, now just we have seen there are two type of dielectric, polar, non-polar. So we have to consider the polarization of polar dielectric material as well as non-polar dielectric material. How they get polarized when they get in electric field, that we have to see. So let's start with this first. Polarization of non-polar dielectric. First, polarization, I will write in short, polarization of non-polar dielectric material when kept in electric field. Polarization of non-polar dielectric material when kept in electric field. Non-polar material we'll consider first. So as we know, non-polar material, it consists of the center of gravity of positive and negative combined together at the same point. Okay, so we can draw them like this. Suppose these are the nothing but what? Center of gravity of them is combined together at same point. So these are nothing but a non-polar material. Center of gravity of positive and negative charges at a same point. Non-polar dielectric material. Now when they are not kept in electric field, means electric field is zero here. Electric field is zero. We have not applied in electric field. There is no change. There is no production of polarities. It remains as it is. But when these things give place in a material, when we apply some electric field across this, so E is not equal to 0 in this diagram. E is not equal to 0. What will occur? Negative and positive charges started separating each other. So negative, positive charges started separating like this, to this side and this side also. Negative and positive charges started separating. As negative and positive charges started separating means what? We have applied some electric field. Suppose here positive is there and negative is there of electric field. Negative charges move toward the positive, positive charges move toward the negative of the electric field. So this is what? Separation of charges means what? Initially when the center of gravity of positive and negative charges at the same point without field, it starts separating. Positive go toward the negative of electric field, negative go toward the positive of the electric field when we apply the electric field. This is the situation for non-polar molecule. Now let's see same thing. Polarization of non-polar we have seen. Let's start with the polarization of polar dielectric material. Polarization of polar dielectric material when kept in electric field. As we know, we can draw here the next diagram. Now that it is same for non-polar, when field is zero, there is no effect. But when there is a field, it is seen that non-polar molecule converted into polar one. Polarities get separated, charges get separated, charges are produced, we can say. What occur in case of this polar molecule? It is said to be polar, so it has already polarities. So when electric field is zero and when electric field is not zero, means we have applied some electric field. When electric field is zero, it is seen that these are the electric dipoles, they are moving randomly somewhere. They are moving anywhere randomly. So like this, so they are moving here and there. When we doesn't apply any field, so this is the position where the charges, or we can say the polar molecules, are moving anywhere randomly. In absence of electric field, they are moving in any direction. They have the polarities, but they are moving randomly, so that resultant polarity is zero. Resultant polarity due to all dipole, it is zero. Why? Because they are randomly oriented in absence of electric field. When we apply some electric field, suppose positive to this side, negative to this side, what will occur? They get aligned. They get aligned. All these randomly oriented get aligned in certain direction. So this is the alignment of them. So negative is there, so here this comes to be the positive to this side, positive to this side, and all negative come to the positive side. So this is the alignment. So all of them align in certain direction. So they have now the resultant dipole moment. So this is the situation for polar molecule, polar material, which has already the polarity. In absence, they are moving randomly. So resultant polarities are zero, resultant dipole moment is zero. But when we kept them in electric field, it is seen that they will align in a direction of electric field like this. So this is the situation, or we can say this is said to be polarization of a material. That is said to be polar material. Initially we have seen the non-polar material. So in short, we can say the material may be polar or non-polar material. When we kept this material polar or non-polar in electric field, there is production of charges. Positive, negative charge gets separated, and that phenomenon is said to be polarization. And how many charges are produced? How many charges get separated, produced? The number of charges, dipole moment per unit volume, that is said to be number of dipole moment produced when they kept in electric field. That dipole moment per unit volume is called as a polarization, and it is represented by P, and that can be written in a vector form. P equal to, there is one symbol like this, xi e into E. It is said to be xi. It is said to be xi E into E. This is the polarization. This is the electric field. Xi E is said to be the electric susceptibility. It is one of the parameter said to be electric susceptibility. Okay. Now let's go next. Reduction in electric field. The next topic is what? Reduction of electric field due to polarization of dielectric. Reduction of electric field due to polarization of dielectric material. So reduction of electric field due to polarization of dielectric material. What does it means? When the material get what? Polarized, means what? Positive, negative charges in the dielectric material separated. Due to that separation, that is said to polarization, resultant electric field decreases. Now the question comes, how it decreases the electric field? It's very common sense to understand this concept. How can we understand? Just in your book they have drawn the two figures. I will draw the two figures same way, but I will draw the two figures in short like this. Suppose these are the positive charges to this side, positive charges to this side, these are the negative charges, and this is nothing but what? Electric field we have applied by these two plates, and in between this we have kept this as a dielectric material, maybe polar, maybe non-polar, any type of dielectric material. So we have applied electric field in this direction, that is represented by E. Electric field positive, negative, we have applied in terms of these two plates. But we know whatever be the material, polar or non-polar, when kept in electric field, it can start separating like this. It starts separating. So here it is plus, so they are merged with minus to this side, plus to this side. Same way here also it starts separating, minus to this, plus to this side. So this separation gets started. So let's write down this diagram. So I will draw this diagram. So this would be plus, this would be minus, plus, minus. In this fashion we can draw as they are separated like this. So these are nothing but what? These are the things, the center of gravity starts separating due to application of electric field across this dielectric material is kept in a electric field. This is a separation of charges, and due to that the charges get separated. And here if we consider, in this case the charges get separated, positive move toward the negative, negative move to the positive. Okay, so after some time what will occur? After some, this is the initial condition. After some time, still we apply the electric field more. After some time what will occur? All these charges accumulate at the edges of the dielectric material, accumulate at the edges. So negative, all negative charges come to this side. Okay, you get separated, all positive come to this side. So all positive goes to negative of electric field, all negative come to positive of electric field. Now here, as already we have applied electric field, that is magnetic is E, positive to negative, but due to production of these charges inside the dielectric material, it has again the charges plus and minus. That's why they produce their own electric field inside the dielectric material, that is suppose E0. They produce their own electric field inside the dielectric material, suppose it is E0. Now if you see, this is external applied electric field, this is the electric field produced inside a dielectric material due to polarization of dielectric, and their directions are opposite. The directions are opposite means what? What should be resultant electric field? Resultant electric field is suppose represented by E dash equal to what? It must be E minus E0. E minus E0. Initially we have applied E. Now we are getting what? After this, after production of E0, that is polarization of dielectric, resultant electric field get minus. Minus means what? Due to this electric field get decrease, and that is said to be reduction of electric field due to polarization of dielectric material, and that is nothing but this resultant electric field get decrease in this fashion. Now here it is seen that if we increase the electric field, external electric field applied, this external electric field applied get increased. Remember, this E0 also get increased. That means finally it is useless to increase the external electric field. If you increase this, it get increased further, and if this get increased, the resultant effect remains same. There is a reduction in the external electric field. So this is nothing but a dielectric material, how it will reduce the resultant electric field when they are kept in electric field, that we have seen. Now there is one table. In that table they have given some material, and they have given minimum and maximum value of dielectric constant for that. And it is seen that metal has infinity dielectric constant for metal is infinity, and here it is 1. Okay, and after that we have to see the next topic, capacitor and capacitance and combination of capacitor in series and parallel. I think it is better to start this in the next chapter, sorry, next video. And tomorrow we will see, maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow we'll see capacitors and capacitance, and how the capacitors are connected in series, how they are connected in parallel, and how they will affect the resultant capacitance, that we have to learn here. If you remember, I think this part we have learned in 11th standard. Only difference is what? Instead of capacitors we have learned cells in series, cells in parallel. Apart from this we have learned resistors in series, resistors in parallel in 11th standard. Now here, instead of cell and resistor, we are going to replace it by capacitor. So first of all, we have to learn what is meant by capacitor, what is meant by capacitance. Then we will see when they are connected in series and parallel, what can occur. So I hope that you just watch my video and try to understand the concept and read the same topic from a book. Definitely you get better understanding of the same topic. Still, if you have any difficulty, you are feel free to ask me. So thank you. Let's see in next video tomorrow or day after tomorrow.